Welcome to Morning Living on Sirius 112 and XM 157.
Okay, I know this is going to sound weird, but did you know that before you fire up your holiday party, you should think like a bride?
What?
Something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. You're like, what are you talking
I'm over 40.
about?
I can barely think about what I had for lunch yesterday.
Well, that's the something old then.
Yeah. I'm the old part. Now I got to get something new.
And if you're like, well, I don't understand. How does a holiday party have anything to do with what you just said? Well, you're going to find out in a second here. Because I read it and I was like, really? And then I completely understood because I had somebody who brought his decoder ring in and explained. And he's here now. Mark Addison is a designer and an entertaining expert. And now we know how financially draining the holidays can be, especially if you're hosting a party. I mean, you're spending a lot of money on holiday parties. Well, there are a lot of budget options available. So Mark is here now to share some of his sneaky little secrets with us on how it can look fab but not cost a fortune. So good morning to you. We're so excited that you're here.
Good morning, ladies. Thanks for having me.
Can you explain the whole something borrowed, something blues?
I haven't been a bride in a while.
Well, I'm not saying host, your holiday party shouldn't be like your wedding. So let's not go crazy. But it's a great rule to use something that you already have, perhaps from last year, and then, find something that's new and interesting this year that you really want to use. And it's a great idea to borrow things as much as possible, like a punch bowl if you don't have it. And then there's something blue. Well, I just said my idea is that you pick a single color as your color theme and really run with it. So those are really great ideas to keep on track with the holidays and not overspend, and then run out and buy a bunch of things in the holidays that you have to make work, So it's a great way to keep a great, solid theme for your holiday parties.
So the something blue doesn't necessarily mean you have to go with blue. It's just the idea is keep one focus.
One focus in color, yes.
Right.
Yes, not a whole carnival of holiday colors.
Because that could also be distracting to see.
So let's just say that I picked blue, and then I decided I need a signature cocktail.
Oh, I have many of them. And actually, what is really big right now in holiday season? It's punches. Punches are they're a great traditional beverage to serve during the holidays, but I'd like to do something that's a little bit more interesting and take some classic cocktails and turn them into punches, adding a little bit of champagne and a great fizz. It's really great and special for the holidays. I have I have three that I just made up. One is a stewed cranberry punch. And it's just like making regular cranberry, like the cocktail sauce. And you actually infuse it with orange juice and lime juice, strain it all, and you put it in the refrigerator and mix it with champagne, and it's absolutely delicious.
Oh, nice.
I'll take that recipe.
Yeah.
I have cranberries at home. I do.
And what's even better
I bought 2 bags. They're waiting for something.
And then you save what you strained and use it as your cranberry cocktail sauce.
Look at that. It's a double jammy.
It's a twofer.
It's a twofer. Now let's talk about some budget-conscious foods that don't necessarily appear to be budget-conscious that you would recommend for a party if we have a budget.
Well, another trend in holiday hors d'oeuvres is round food. You'll see that a lot in magazines that's coming up this holiday season. And there's some really great ones that you can do. And I love them because they're reminiscent of snowballs and reminiscent of Christmas ornaments. And you can make them in advance, which is even better because you're saving yourself time. And a couple of them that I love are cheese balls. And it's a classic type of cheese log, but they're individual. You just take some green or red grapes and you roll them with either a Stilton cheese or a goat cheese, and then you roll them in brightly colored sun-dried cranberries or sun-dried cherries and
You do
pistachios.
nuts too, right?
And
Yeah.
and you roll them in the nuts and dried fruits, and you create these little balls, and it looks like a beautiful ornamental display. And other things you can do is like your typical bar foods. You would create like a brownie bar or a cheesecake, and you cut them into circles with a little cookie cutter. And
I didn't know that round food was trendy now.
It's
Now
very
we're going to be
trendy.
in.
Another big thing is cake balls. It's kind of like
This is a huge thing.
very big, and things on sticks. It's really huge for holidays, and it's fun and it's festive and it's
Wait,
Can you
Go
explain
back.
the cake
I
ball
wanna know
thing
the
to
cake
Cam? 'Cause
ball.
I just heard about this, and I guess I was like the second to the last on the block.
Apparently, I'm the next to the
I am like
last.
cake balls. They're like sweeping the continent.
They're huge. It's like a petit four. So, but instead of making them square, you make them round, and you do that with just like a scooper.
Ice cream scooper, or a melon baller.
A melon baller, and then you can icing them a number of different ways, or you can even chocolate dip them, which is great.
Oh my gosh.
That's like a chocolate truffle, but instead of the chewy chocolate nugget inside, there's cake inside. So it's fun. And then, or you can put them on a stick and then display them in a fun, festive way as well.
Everything on a stick now, too.
I do like serving on a stick.
You used to do cookies on a stick.
I did.
And that would be inexpensive, right?
Very inexpensive, yes. Yes, you just have to make sure you don't burn your sticks while you're cooking your cookies.
Oh, well, what's the trick to that?
Well, you just want to soak them in a little bit of water.
Wet your stick.
Wet your stick.
I'm just saying that way it doesn't burn.
Oh, my.
So early in the day.
It's so funny. I wasn't even thinking what you two were thinking at all, but thanks for going there without me on that trip. So let's talk about more foods on a budget, because I'm sure that there are other things besides hors d'oeuvres and desserts that we could serve.
Absolutely. I love making little pies, and I use things that I already have in the refrigerator or leftovers from another meal.
It's round again.
So wait, you're serving up your leftovers to your company?
Well, shh, don't tell anybody.
Too late.
Oh, darn it. Well, you can buy these little pre-made pie shells. They're fantastic, and you fill them with things like ham and cheese, and you can fill them with turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes. Does that sound familiar from a meal?
Gosh.
Top with a little bit of cranberry sauce. Put them in the oven. They're great. You can be served room temperature, so you don't have to worry about running in the kitchen and grabbing warm food. It's a really great way to use what you have, and it's also inexpensive. You don't have to run out and make, an elaborate meal.
We were talking before you got here about the whole regifting thing.
That's my favorite thing to do.
Okay, so tell us what you meant by the regifting thing, because I got yelled at.
Well, it's not really regifting what I do, but that's, I don't think, there's nothing wrong with it. I don't like throwing things away, so I like to make sure I give it to somebody who can use it. But my regifting idea is when I decorate for the holidays, I like to come up with a new theme every year. It's fun for me to do. And I keep one item for myself as my something old for my next year. And then I take those fun new items that I love so much and I save them. I put them in cute little boxes. And when I go to parties, I use them as hostess gifts. So last year I did it was all called Porcelain White was my holiday theme. And I have these beautiful little porcelain origami bird ornaments. And I'm going to package them up and give them to my friends as I go to their parties. And I think if I liked it, certainly somebody else is going to like it.
It's not really regifting.
Well, it is
It's more like rehoming. Rehousing.
Yeah.
I found a new home for you, Bird.
Well, it's like the land of misfit ornaments.
So wait, did they know you
like
used them already, or you glossed that over?
If they came to my party, certainly they might have seen them. They might have remembered them. If they didn't remember them, they look at them and they say, "Oh, beautiful, thank you. It's very thoughtful." I don't call it out and say, oh, "This is my old ornament from last year," but it's a good way to not stockpile things. I don't think that I don't have enough room for storage. I am a bit of a hoarder, but I'm a thoughtful.
But we're not going
hoarder.
to see you on the show.
No, nothing like that.
I'm a thoughtful hoarder.
Now, Mark Addison, I know you have a list of things that we should think about before throwing a party. Give us a few of those.
Well, one of my things is I think people are afraid of their own space, and I'm a huge fan of moving furniture for a party. It makes your space look completely different without actually having to spend any money on decorating to that point. If you have an open plan space, make some little cozy corners. Or if you have a cozy corner kind of place, move furniture completely out of your space and make it more open, an open plan. Your guests will walk in and say, "Wow, what did you do to your space? It looks fantastic." And you didn't spend any money. It's also a great way to edit. Often I do that for a holiday party. I'll end up keeping it that way. And there's some items that I don't really want anymore, and then I re-gift them.
I'm thinking if it was furniture, you're rehousing. But
well, I'm rehousing. I'm giving it to a charitable organization during the holidays, and they're in much need. I also think the must-haves for holiday entertaining, certainly more ice. I always run out of ice, and I now have a portable ice maker that you just plug in. It
That's
makes
cool.
30 pounds of ice out of 1 gallon of water. And then I also think in inexpensive glassware and keeping that, it's hoarding or stockpiling, inexpensive glassware. You can find it on sale year round, and you get them in the case, you keep them in the closet, and you pull them out for holiday parties. You have to use your best stuff. Some of my other ideas is I collect decorative containers, like containers to go containers. So at the end of the party, instead of me having to keep all the leftovers and put them in my refrigerator, I make little gifts for the guests, and I put sweets or savories in each package and give them as a
I like that.
Yeah, better out than in, I always say.
Yeah, you don't want that all
out of the
over.
house.
Is that refooding? I'm not sure.
That's a takeaway.
That's a takeaway. Okay.
Well, now where can people find you online so they can get more gift ideas from you and party ideas on a budget?
Well, you can look at my website, markaddison.com, and I have a blog, which is /entertain. And I'm also a celebrations.com expert, and there's lots of ideas up there, too.
Well, we're so glad you came in.
Oh, thank
what
you
are you
for
doing for the
having
holidays
me.
yourself, personally? Gonna do something fun?
I am. I'm having a holiday party myself, and then I'm going down to Florida with my family.
Good for you. We'll take lots of pictures and send them to us.
I will.
All right. Our email is morningliving@marthastewart.com. And by the way,
I want to know what he's regifting for next year, so if we see the tree, we'll know.
Yes, I'll take a picture of
you
it.
can also email us with your questions, or if you'd like his web address, again, most certainly at morningliving@marthastewart.com. And don't go anywhere, because we have to give you a little preview as to what's happening on tomorrow's Morning Living, plus Terry Trespicio in minutes with Whole Living, so we'll find out what's going on her show as well. Straight ahead at Martha Stewart Living Radio, Sirius 112 and XM 157.